What's going on, everybody? This week's episode, I am here at Daniels Real Estate Group in the rail yard at South End. My guy Javin Daniels is going to speak and talk about all things real estate and what makes him special. He owns Daniels Real Estate Group. He has a plan for the next 5+ years, but it's cool to hear his ultimate goal for what he thinks Charlotte will look like real estate-wise in the next few years. Stay tuned. We're here. All right. We are here again. Want to welcome everybody to another episode of Keeping It Real Estate. You like
yes,
that?
Sir. Yeah, I like that.
Come on, dog. Got to give me some love on that shit. Yeah. So, of course, as y'all know, every time I do this, I got another special guest, somebody who is either special to me or special to the mission of this podcast. And this guest is definitely special to me and special to the podcast. None other than my brother, Javin Daniels.
Yo, what's going on, man?
Yeah,
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, definitely, man. So Javin Daniels owns Daniels Real Estate Group here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Javin have known each other since I got my license.
2015, was it?
15.
15?
15,
Yeah.
16. 16 was the deal. So I met you during that deal.
Got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've known Javin since 2016. And
we sold your sister.
My sisters. Yep. You brought a buyer. I had it was my very first listing.
Yeah.
In the business.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Javin was
Bree was hard on us.
Man, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, that still goes down as my hardest deal.
Yeah, Bree was hard on us.
Selling her house and helping her buy a house.
Yeah. She's
still by far my hardest client.
Yeah. What happened with that? The appraisal, it came back lower.
Yeah, something like that. It was crazy, man.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, I'm like, there's not too many things I haven't experienced.
Mm-hmm.
And I've experienced a lot of big things in my first few transactions.
Yeah, me too.
That was one. That was one of them. A low appraisal, especially back then, 2016.
Yeah.
You're talking low appraisal. It's like meet us down here at the appraisal.
Exactly. Yeah.
You like, okay?
Yeah,
do I do that? Do I make some adjustments?
Yeah.
So no. So again, Javin Daniels Real Estate Group. Welcome.
Yeah, appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, we'll
man.
get some claps.
Yeah,
here.
no, definitely.
So, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Make some noise.
Yeah. So Javin, man, again, the sole purpose of this podcast is to shed light on, of course, Black owners, right? I think it was important for me to knock out my first few episodes with real estate, Black real estate owners. Whether it be, they own the company or they run their team, whatever it may be. But I wanted to focus on us, especially in this area, man. I've been in Charlotte 26 years now. Uh-huh. And one thing that kind of makes my blood boil, man, is when Black entrepreneurs decide to leave Charlotte to go do something. They go to Atlanta. They want to open up their hair salon, we'll go to Atlanta. They want to open up something, they go to Atlanta.
Right.
But you chose, I don't know how long you've been in Charlotte, so this is where we'll kind of ask some questions that I've been wanting to ask you.
Sure.
So how long have you been in Charlotte? What made you choose Charlotte to open up your business?
Yeah, I've been in Charlotte, it'll be 10 years, February the 17th, I want to say.
Okay.
Chose Charlotte, I always be transparent and truthful.
Mm-hmm.
I was dating a female at the time. And we did the long distance things for about 10 months, 11 months. And it was one of those things, I was coming back and forth from St. Louis to Charlotte. And it was just like, every time I came, I fell more in love with the progression of Charlotte and just things to do. And it was just totally different from St. Louis.
You St. Louis, you had the Band-Aid?
Yeah, I had the bandana, the Band-Aid on the eye, vocal,
Murphy Lee and all them boys.
Air Forces. But yeah, so that was the reason why I picked it and, got here. Hit the ground running, was working in financial advising before I entered the real estate atmosphere and did some property management. But I think my biggest thing for getting into real estate was just coming from back home in East St. Louis, Illinois, just everything being blighted, dilapidated, vacant, you know what I'm saying? It's a lot of poverty. So, I always had a question just as I was young, when I was younger, just who owns all of it? Why is it like this, And so that always piqued my interest of just being in real estate.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. So, I mean, with your roots in St. Louis and seeing those things, what kind of experience did you take from St. Louis to when you decided? Because you said you did what were you doing before? You said you did.
I was
financial.
working. I was working on the trading floor at Wells Fargo.
Yeah.
As in like operations, and then I jumped over to LPL Financial and was doing more operational stuff there as well.
So when you first got in real estate, the things that you kind of had set in stone, or what your mindset was with what you saw in St. Louis, what was your big goal with getting your real estate license and doing business out here?
To be truthful, like my biggest goal and what I'm still aspiring to do is to be a developer, general contractor, and like do community development, right? So that's the passion I get from being back home, right? And with getting my real estate license, I'm like, okay, that's what I thought I was going to jump right into, and that was not the case, right? So I had to like join a firm and start selling houses, and like I got good at it, and it was just like one of those things that you look down 8 years down the line, it's like I'm still doing it, but I'm also getting back and going and taking care of the development portion of it and stuff like that, working with builders and about to get my general contractor's license. So it just takes, it takes time to get to where you actually want to be with everything. But yeah, my biggest goal getting into it was to do community development.
Nice.
I just so happen to be good at selling houses.
Yeah. I'll tell a story if you don't mind. I share it. Javin told me when we first, I was bouncing questions off of you a good bit my first year or so in the business. And I remember I was questioning if I should do it full time.
Right.
And you gave me an example. You was like, man, I ain't had no money when I decided to do it full time. And I reflect back to that because I remember when I left corporate and I remember the feeling of, only having, I had one closing coming up. And I was like, all right, got to make this work. Yeah. How did that kind of shape who you became as an agent? Because again, having to jump in full time with no money or very little money, how did that shape who you became and what you kind of teach at Daniels Real Estate Group?
Yeah, I mean, definitely believing in God that everything's gonna work out. Every time that I'm down to my last or whatever it may be, there's always the next deal that comes to the next person calls. So I always say I'm just a strong believer that what's meant to be is gonna be. I've never just been down on my luck with real estate. But I was working full time. I was doing property management, so I had like a little bit of a grace period as well because I was doing property management, so I had a little bit of just set income coming in, and then I was also doing real estate sales and things of that nature. So when I jumped off the porch, actually I got laid off. They wanted to fire me, but they laid me off because I was such a cool dude. Because I was taking long lunch breaks, going to closing, showing how. So they really didn't want me there, no way.
Remember them days.
But yeah, so when I jumped off the porch, I still had a little bit of income coming in, but it was really just kind of hitting the ground running, knowing that you eat what you kill. Yeah. And that's still been my mentality, to this day. My first broker, Tony Jones for Links Realty Group, what's up? She threw me my first bone. She threw me the first one, and then from there, I just had that taste for money and just helping people, and it just went from there and just took off.
That's I'm glad you brought that up too, because in this real estate world, getting that first deal or getting that first that nudge to get a deal done, whether it be your first closing or your first lead, and you finally talk to somebody and you got them to trust you, that goes a long way in it goes a long way in real estate, or even just in any business as an entrepreneur, right? When you finally get the trust of the person on the other end and they look at you and see you as that real estate agent. Yeah. What are some things that you learned at those early firms that you kind of just take pieces and pieces of and put into your business now as a firm owner? Yeah,
Tony Jones, Links Realty Group, all black, minority, and she's a woman. She told me, and everything sticks, like just be proactive. Yeah. Like be consistent. Like the realtors out here, they're not being proactive. They're not consistent. They don't have any follow through. And that's what I took from that early on. Like, okay, I'm gonna have follow through. I played basketball, so I know that, as far as the commitment, I'm an athlete. And then really was just like going out and treating this as a competition, like an actual sport. And I think that's one of those things that is just like, I'm hungry. I still treat my first like, my last. And, my last like my first. What Jay say? Yeah, yeah, I don't know, but you know what I'm saying? Like that's kind of the situation that I do, is just treat it like it's my first deal. Every deal is my first deal, and that's what kind of keeps me, you know, in the game.
Yeah. No, I think, and I agree. I think that's important, right? And you're talking about that was your first firm, and she told you those things. I mean, it's crazy how one person can tell you one thing and you just never forget it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I remember both of us had a stint at a firm together.
Yeah.
And even just then, I remember running into you in like the coffee room, and you was like, "Yeah, I'm working on this. I'm working on that."
Yeah.
Your mind has to constantly keep moving, right? And it's hard. What I've realized in real estate is, and again, this may tie into other entrepreneurs' careers, but what I realized in real estate is it's hard to turn off.
No, 100%.
You can't. I don't think you can. Right? If somebody around you is talking real estate, you kind of want to step in and be like, "No, that's incorrect," or "Yeah, that's right. Let me go in depth." Do you have a hard time kind of shutting it off? And then even with you, I know you personally, so you've got a family, right? How do you manage the, time? How's your time management when it comes to business and regular life?
Yeah, I mean, so, my lady, she's a boss chick, and she never turns it off. She's
you can shout her out if you want.
Yeah,
Rachel, plug it in.
Yeah, Rachel Rolfe, Urban Skinner X, going to tap in, Target, CVS, Ulta's, Walmart's, DTC, whatever y'all want, she got it. But no, like when I first, was in a relationship, it was kind of like on all the time, and it was one of those things that was like, you still got to make room and adjust for that. But at the same time, we just workaholics too. And, we still get our hours in and at night to sit at the table, eat dinner and all of that type of stuff and be intentional on that. No iPads, no phones. But at the end of the day, like, if you really going to be in this and you're going to want to be successful to a point where it's just not like you just making income just to take care of your habits, like I'm going for the jugular. Like I want to be the Keller Williams or, the Don Peebles of the construction and real estate. So, like for me, I'm 5 years. I'm thinking like what's happening 3 years from now.
Right.
So it don't turn off. Just be patient with me. That's what the kids be patient. The wife be patient. But we both workaholics, so it helps when somebody can match your work ethic and they understand it.
That's dope. Yeah, that's dope. How has your transition been from individual agent to now owner of a company and managing other agents?
It's been good. I think it was hard. We talked when you were starting up Noir, and it was just kind of like there's so many things that's involved. E&O, the insurance part of it, just the back office, the transactional management systems, marketing, right, digital marketing, all that. So it's a lot of things that go into it. My degree was in business management with an emphasis in marketing, so I always knew I was going to be an entrepreneur or a business owner. It just so happens to be real estate, so I kind of tie all those things together. But it was hard, just being operational as real estate agents. We're normally just about sales,
right, yeah.
I did the DISC assessment when I joined, I forget what firm it was. I'm 99% people and 1% operational, right? Yeah. So I had to kind of like adjust that over time to like, okay, I definitely got to get this operational stuff down before I can, I can't hire people right now. So it was a hard adjustment, but it was also, I had a few good people that were on the team. And it's good when you start a business, they want to see the company grow. So everybody's all hands on deck to make sure that it happens. So make sure that you're not the only one that has the same passion to see your company go to the top, right? And from there, it just started getting the system in the process. Yeah.
How did you pick who to bring along with you? How did you pick? How do you pick your agents?
I'm organic with it. I ain't, I'm not hurting for it, and I do want to, be big when it comes to like a footprint in Charlotte as far as like black owned real estate. But it was all organic, to be honest with you. Like relationships that I have with people, they see me doing it. If they want to come, we'll have a conversation. And I'm just, just strictly transparent. Like I don't do recruiting. I don't believe in it. I just feel like if it's going to be organic and we can flow as family, that's what it is, and we go from there. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things we have in common, right? And I think it also stems from where we came from as far as other firms or even just our personal experiences.
Yeah,
I think that's the best way to grow, right? Organically, word of mouth, or even just, man, I'm seeing what you're doing and I want to be a part of it.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Sure.
That's cool. Any kind of bumps and bruises that you faced, or anything that you might have done differently starting your firm?
I probably wouldn't have tried to, like, even though it was organically and people were like trying to, you know, be a part of it, I wouldn't have hired like everybody. You know what I'm saying? I would have been a little bit more, you know, selective with it and just been like, hey, I can have 5 killers and we can still do 40 million in sales in a year, you know what I'm saying, rather than 10 and we only get 25, you know what I'm saying? So like, that's probably what I would have did. I did take one thing into advice where, you know, I learned from a brokerage firm that when I left, she was kind of like relying on me. Like I was the king of it, right? I was making all the sales, and like, you know, real estate is momentum. So if you stop selling properties and then your top dogs leave, because, you know, if you really getting cold people, like, of course they're gonna probably leave down the line. You got to still be in the game. So I learned that from somebody else, but, you know, just always to stay in the game. Yeah. And, you know, always be making my own moves and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's dope. Why manage people? Why not just do your own thing? Why not just be a one-man show and just kill the game as Javin Daniels?
Yeah, so that's kind of what I took a step back, and that's what I'm kind of tunneling back to.
Okay.
Because I mean, I have a great network. Yeah. I have a lot of people in the city that kind of rock with me. I got a lot of referrals. My marketing and digital marketing and stuff like that, we're kind of trying to take that to the next level. And I went to this seminar, and it was just like, hey, the team aspect, but I'm the owner, is just like, get people who can do what you need them to do, right? So my agents, they still do their own sales. I support that and grow. We do, you know, the monthly, you know, the week check-ins. We do the calendars, the business goals, and all that type of stuff. At the same time, I ask them a question: do you want to be a part of my team where I'm giving you leads and you get a percentage of it? And, you know, so I'm funneling in that. So it's kind of like the team aspect, where it's just like, I'm really focused on bringing leads in, y'all closing them, and we all eat. So so I'm shifting the model to the point of not growing, you know, not getting a whole bunch of agents to do that. Yeah.
So when you say you're trying to kind of get back to it, does that mean you're going to be more foot to ground, kind of selling stuff again, or?
Well, I mean, I'm still selling. You know, I'm still selling.
Okay.
If it's a referral, somebody close to me, you know, I'm gonna definitely.
You got to work those.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely work those. But you know, right now we're getting leads like this past year. I just started like digital marketing and all that, and we were able to close like 15 leads from people that we didn't know. Yeah. Yeah. So nice. I mean, that takes time for people to nurture those things and stuff like that. So maybe I really trying to get away from being the face of Daniels Real Estate Group, right? I know it's my last name and all of that, but if I can get away from being the face and have a well-oiled running machine, and trust people to do the task, I can then go and jump to do more things, you know what I'm saying, and build a brand. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. What's your favorite part right now of everything that's happening with you, whether it be personal or business? What's your favorite part of everything?
I mean, definitely having my son right now. Yeah, my 2-month-old son, Emil. That's my twin. So that's definitely the favorite part of work right now, or just life right now. But for work, I mean, it's always closing deals. It's the favorite part of just seeing people happy and getting what they want, right? Yeah. And then I'm always wanting to solve problems. Everybody on the team be like, man, you got a solution for everything, and it's quick with it too. So, I mean, for me, that always keeps my mind working on just how to have a solution for it. And then to analyzing the market. I love talking to people about what we think this market is looking like, what's going on with the economy, all this type of stuff. Yeah.
So it's funny, man, because I want to keep saying like you, but I'm a quick witty person too. Like if I know it, I can answer it. Yeah. But I tie that in with me kind of also being like an asshole, right? No. I'm telling you, like I tie like how it's not that I am an asshole, but my childhood, how I came up, I was always the skinny kid, you know, or I always had to be funny, or I always like, it was things that happened to me that made me like, I got to find the answer to this because I got to be resourceful and I got to be, people need me, right?
No, for sure.
And what I didn't realize growing up was that helped shape me into the hard worker I am, things like that. Are there reasons or things that happened to you in the past that kind of made you that way?
No, I think it's just my makeup and DNA. I just always been able to solve problems or come up with a solution and try to have a positive solution. You know, I think, I mean, I worked in operational, I think it's just something that's just been in me to be able to like, damn, he's quick with it, and it's taken me a long way just having that. Yeah.
Nice. I take a special pride in being black in our business and being successful. And again, I take another boost from keeping it here in Charlotte, right? I think that's really important. What's one of your big goals outside of the development stuff? But what do you want to see from Daniels Real Estate Group when it comes to either the global platform or just the city platform statewide?
I think it's a way. It's a way for us to get our egos and pride out of it, and figure out how all of our black firms can combine and have the sales volume of Keller Williams and say we 100% black. Yep,
I love that, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, I feel I haven't. It's always been in my mind, but I gotta let everybody that I know close. I'm close to everybody that's black, but I gotta let people. I gotta let everybody do their own thing for a moment of time, and then like when a scenario comes, how do we merge all this and we all still get money? And it's just about the black brand. Yep. So that's the biggest goal. Yeah. So I put it out there for you right now.
That's it, man. I'd love to see that, bro. I promise you, that's really, man. I told you I've been in Charlotte 26 years, man. Yeah. And I grew up playing golf, so for me, I grew up in an atmosphere where it wasn't dominated by black people, and I was always looked at as a threat because I was a good golfer. I'm still a good golfer, but I was a good golfer growing up. Yeah. And I was a threat to what they had going on. Yeah. And I think we are a threat.
Progression is a threat.
Yeah, I think we're all a threat, man. I love to see it. And the people always like, man, why they go there? Man, I don't care. Yeah. That's why I'm doing this platform. Go to Daniels Real Estate Group. Go to Henderson Ventures. Go to Allure. I want to see people just use black business. Yeah. Go there, be successful, and build that up. Because at one point in time, there's going to be, and I'm speaking to this, there's going to be an opportunity for all of us to grow together at some point. And it's gonna be good.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I'm waiting on that time, man. I think we gotta it has to happen. It's just programmed for us to all be individuals, and to worry about ourselves. But I think if we can all have that mindset to say, hey, I'd rather have 1% of 100 million than me just trying to chase 100 million with a few of my partners. It's easy. You 30 plus million sold in a year. I'm 30 plus million sold in a year. Henderson Ventures 30 plus million sold. That's 90 right there. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's 90. Right. And that could be now competing with Allen Tate. It may not be Keller right now, but it could be with Allen Tate or Berkshire Hathaway. It's like we got our footprint there.
I agree.
So it is what it is. But we're going to figure it out, though. But, yeah, that's the biggest goal.
I have this little segment that I'm adding to the podcast, where you kind of drop 2 golden nuggets, whether it be a word of advice, whether it be just some, your favorite quote, whatever it is. Just give me 2 pieces of that golden nugget that you want to drop.
Yeah. Shoot. Those who don't create the future they want must endure the future they get.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who said that?
I don't even know.
You're not about to drop the quote.
Yeah.
There you go. Nah.
I got that tattooed on me at 16, 17.
Yeah? Say it again.
Those who don't create the future they want must endure the future they get. Right?
Okay. I like that, yeah.
And then Esse Quam Verde, to be rather than to seem to be. Those 2 things that I live by.
Dang.
Yeah. I go deep sometimes.
Yeah, I feel you. Finger snapping.
Damn. Yeah. So.
Jeez. Okay. Yeah. I mean, my quotes ain't that deep, but I mean, it is what it is. I mean.
What's yours?
My favorite one is whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.
Right. No, that's
right?
real.
That's one of my favorite ones, and I have it written on my board in my office, along with a picture of an older me. Right. You use that Age Me app, and it's a picture of an older me. I learned that from Ryan Serhant.
Okay.
He talked about it. YouTube was what got me through my first 3-4 years of real estate. So I used a lot of his methods.
Gotcha.
But yeah, put a picture of your older self, and that's who you're working for. You're working for that person that with the gray. I mean, I got gray right now, but
I ain't gonna say that. Yeah,
I feel. But the full gray.
Yeah.
The full gray, and the losing the hair and stuff. I mean, you already there. But,
yeah, man.
But yeah, that's kind of things that I do to kind of motivate myself. Throughout. But I also want to add another thing to it. With this podcast, it's very much one-sided. I'm asking a lot of questions to people. And because this is a group effort to kind of promote your business, your brand, and again, Black business, do you have anything that you would ask me in return?
Yeah. How is it going? I know you've been doing this, the New Orleans, going on almost a year or 11 months?
Well, the firm, April of this year. Yeah. The team we had for 3 years.
How was it? How is it going? What was your motivation for starting the actual jumping out and actually having a firm? And just, I would love to know, how is it going for you?
Yeah.
Your struggles, the achievements. Yeah.
No, it's going well, man. There's learning curves, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's different from what I was doing before as a team leader, right? I got a lot more things to work on, just like you talked about budgeting, where to put money into the brand and things like that. But I think I have, I know I've got the right people, with me. We brought over some agents when I started the company. And then we've grown since then.
How many do you have now?
Right now we got 14.
Okay.
Yeah, we got 14. But for me, it's not about the number. It's really about what people are looking for, right? I have these conversations with everybody that comes over. One of the big things I ask people is, what are you looking for that's different than where you were? And here's what we can provide, right? And if we can provide that for you, then please come aboard. But understand a few things. Understand we're still a startup.
Yeah.
This is still new to me. Those things you saw on Instagram with me and, what we were doing before, that's a different side. This is a brand new business for me. So understand there's going to be a learning curve for myself when it comes to budgeting and things like that. But understand you're going to get the best help that I can give you. And if you're looking for that guidance, you're looking for, whatever, if I could provide it, I'm going to give it to you. So, no, it's fun. It's fun.
And I like the camaraderie that y'all have. To be honest, I look at it, on Instagram and stuff, like, dang, they had a team out and stuff. And dang, I need to do more of that. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, I need to do more of that, but at the same time, I ain't got it.
Yeah.
And I ain't got it in me.
Yeah, and it's not even it's really, I think, coming from, and you did it, right? Coming from the team to now running a brokerage, there's your role has changed. My role changed. But the one thing that didn't change was why I started the team, why the team decided to come with me to opening up the brokerage. And I think it's important to keep it that way, right? To keep that feel of, most people want to, one thing that I've found out, I've been to 4 different firms. And one thing that I found out that I would never get at these big firms is the feeling of inclusivity. Is that a word? Inclusivity?
Yeah, no.
We're going to find out. If not, we made it a word. It's my podcast.
Yeah.
Make it a word if it's not.
Preach.
But yeah, one thing that I knew I was not going to get was that inclusiveness from everybody. And I was never going to find that until I made my own. And that's one thing that I want to provide. And I'm sure that's one thing you want to provide. It's a familiar face, right? People look at our brands and they go, oh, it's Black owned. No, it's not just Black owned, it's Black run.
Yeah.
It's, we try to use Black vendors. We got, so it's very much, showing people in our community that we can do a lot together instead of separate. Even this podcast, right? It's collaboration over competition. Yeah. I say that every episode because it's important that people see that 2 Black men can sit up here and talk about each other's business and not have to worry about, me being jealous of you or you being jealous. You helped me get started.
100%.
Whether as an individual agent, you helped me get started with the group, the firm. So having this platform to kind of showcase that for us is important to me.
Yeah, Own, Unite, Revive. That's on the shirt, right? I got that trademark.
Let me see it. Show the camera. Your camera's right there. Show your camera.
Yeah, so Own, Unite, Revive. And I think that's just what it stands for. First, we got to own it. Then we unite. And then we revive our people, our communities.
Yeah.
I'd have had this for, since I was like 20 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I think it's true. I think I'm living it. Like I said, I'm a visionary. You know, everything I've been doing, I known I was going to do it 10 years ago, you know what I'm saying, 15 years ago. And so let's just keep on doing it. Anything I can do to help, I'm always here. You know, ain't a hating bone in my body. I want everybody to eat.
You got to. Yeah.
And, you know, let's just keep on growing.
That's how you got to move, man. All right, so we'll wrap it up, but I got one thing left. If you can give a new agent or even an experienced agent just one piece of advice, what would you give?
Man, if you ain't hungry in this, you might as well go back and work a 9 to 5. I ain't gonna lie to you, because right now you got to grind and you got to do the things that the last 2 to 5 years that you probably haven't done. You know what I'm saying? And that's really put your foot on the gas, go and knock on some doors, make cold calls, make phone calls to old clients. If you haven't reached out to your first client and don't have a relationship with them more, you lose it right now. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So you either get with it, or that 9 to 5 is calling you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And that's not a bad thing. It's just it ain't for you.
It ain't for you. No, it ain't a bad thing. But just know, you know, I don't like people to do it just because they feel like it's for the money.
Right.
Because I'm very like in this, and it's a passion. You know, like it's
Same,
not
bro.
easy. If it was easy, then you know. When you chase the money, when the money run out, then what you doing? Because you didn't chase it. So, you know, you got to chase the feeling, that passion, and that love of it. Yeah. And I really love it.
Dope, man. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you again, Javin Daniels Real Estate Group, man. Plug how people can get in contact with you.
Man, don't. No, I'm just messing with you. I contact y'all. No. Javin Daniels. We at Daniels GRP on Instagram. DanielsRealEstateGRP.com. And 704-804-3033 if you want to talk to me.
If they want to talk to you, text you, all that stuff.
Yeah, I'm open. I'm 24 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. I appreciate you, man. Well, again, everybody, my contact at Sold by Rel on damn near every platform: TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
I forgot my personal handle. Yeah. Javin Daniels.
Javin Daniels. Yep. So at Sold by Rel on everything, and then of course the group page is at Noire, NOIRE Group _LLC.
Yeah, find me on TikTok too. We on there.
Yeah, I saw you had a few viral jumps on there. Man.
Oh, I'm lit. Yeah, I'm at like 3. Yeah, I'm at 2.5 million views.
Hey,
so, we lit. We trying to get it. Yeah.
Corny ass videos. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. But I appreciate you, man. Thank you very much.
Definitely.
All right, we're gonna do that again. Appreciate you.
Definitely.
All right, cool.
All right, y'all.
Thanks.